Woo!
Hi.
Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to my Facebook Live. And what a special thanks to OntarioVirtualSchool.ca for sponsoring this Facebook. This is my sign to tell my kids to keep out that keeps blowing. I'm Taylor Kay, and I have Alicia Kuzner, Ms. Kuzner online. Alicia, talk to us a little bit and tell us about Ontario Virtual School. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, we're going to be giving away 2 courses from the Ontario Virtual School today. And let me tell you, these courses, they're around $500 each, right, Alicia, some of them? So
yeah.
This is amazing. So comment. The contest closes tomorrow at midnight. So keep commenting. And while Alicia's chatting about what Ontario Virtual School is about, I'm going to be sharing on Facebook. So keep chatting. Alicia, go ahead.
So Ontario Virtual School is one of the oldest virtual schools that have existed in Canada, actually. It's been open for over a decade. So they know the game of online learning and online education. And essentially how it works is that there is a website or a platform that students log into, and it's very neatly organized. So when students log in, you see your courses that you're enrolled in right at the front. And when you open your courses, you have access to pre-recorded lessons that are very interactive. They have either timelines or embedded quizzes or moving components within the lessons that help students grasp their learning as they progress. There's also resources that are available and a live grade book that provide additional comments and feedback. So the Ontario Virtual School is really just a great way to utilize all these online resources that most teachers wouldn't have access to and turn it into a great platform for learning.
Awesome. And I'm going to keep sharing as we're chatting too. I love Facebook. And Meg saying, I want to know where you guys are watching from. Jackie saying, hello from Toronto. We got Emily. Karina's online. Cynthia's online. Bobby Joe saying, hi, ladies. Love this. It sounds amazing. So the ages are from grade 8 to grade 12, correct?
Yeah, our main courses are grade 9 to grade 12, but we are offering a grade 8 or grade 7, grade 8, depending on where you're at in your learning course, which is free, and that's the preparation to high school course. And anyone can take this course. It's absolutely free. If you went on the OntarioVirtualSchool.ca website, you would see it. And it's structured just like our regular high school classes would be structured, so that if you're in grade 8 and you're worried about the upcoming year, especially with whether or not your school board has chosen to do the half days or the full days, and maybe you want to get some credits out of the way, or maybe you want to know how OVS structures their learning, you can check out that course and see how it's structured. Do you like the fact that the teachers are pre-recorded and you can re-watch the lessons? Do you like the embedded quizzes to make sure that you are actually learning as you progress through the course? I know personally sometimes as a learner, I will go through information and not necessarily pick up what I'm reading or what I'm listening to. So we take advantage of our embedded quizzes, and that aren't for marks, but it's just to see, are you picking up what I'm saying as I talk about the content in the course?
So Carla's writing a question. So Carla, there are courses that are free, and it is. What I love about when I found out about the Ontario Virtual School, it was right in the middle of the pandemic when everything was happening. And I was concerned about my daughter who is going into grade 8, and they have some great free courses online. There was courses about mental health, which I loved. And it was actually another outlet for her to check out, other than I'm locking the door here. So they're partying and TikToking next door.
But the dances.
But there are paid courses as well. So you can either complement this with your school if your kids are loving e-learning, or it's also an alternative as well. I know so many kids that want to take the courses and listen, peace out high school. I want to get to college a little bit quicker, or maybe you want to increase, maybe the physics that your child did this year, or chemistry or biology. The grade that they had up until March was the grade they were going to get. And maybe you're like, no, we want it to be better. You can also improve those grades, right, Alicia?
Yeah, exactly. And the best thing about OVS courses is that you can enter at any point and graduate at any point. So you can be potentially not doing well in a class. Let's say September has started and you are moving your way through math and you realize, I can't get this. Maybe the teacher isn't teaching the way that works for you. Maybe it's just too much with COVID, the changes. So you can enroll at OVS, at any course, at any time. There's just the only deadline is if you wanted to graduate for a certain deadline, like a university deadline, we would have to get your marks in by a certain point so that it could be counted with that. But you have essentially a year to complete a credit. So you could be trekking through living your life. And then if something happened, maybe a mental health crisis like you brought up, or maybe a big move or a big change in your lifestyle and you have to put the brakes on a course, that's fine. You can take a break. You can take a month off, 2 months off, and that's fine.
Linda has a question, then we're going to go into our questions. Unfortunately, e-learning does not work for all children. Linda, I get that for sure, and I understand that. And what I found, my family, most of my family from Hamilton, they're all teachers. Either we're in the entertainment industry or we're in the education, industry, teachers, principals. I find with OVS, you guys, you'll let kids try it out to see if it works for them. E-learning's new for everyone, but you guys are the experts, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it depends on the subject. Maybe your child really needs a physical classroom with a physical teacher in front of them for something like math or English, but maybe they have an elective that they want to get out of the way. I know that sometimes students in grade 9 may lose a credit because they want to utilize the resource room or the special education room, and so they don't get a credit, but then they want to take a spare in grade 11 or grade 12. So you could take an OVS course in the summer of an elective that you just find as fun, or potentially there's a course that you really want to take that your school doesn't offer because there's not enough kids enrolling in that class. You can take this course. I mean, we have like some amazing, like really fun classes like Earth and Space Science, kinesiology, some really cool classes. So
that's what I have a degree in. Look, I'm a DJ and I'm doing a Facebook Live. Okay, I got to go back to some questions. Okay, Bobby Joe, my daughter is taking grade 11 English course right now. Not sure if it's the same as you're talking about. It's a 4-week course. It moves fast. It counts as a credit. So
for this, every school is trying to do their own thing right now. So we are a private school, but we are offering the same credits as public school in Ontario. So all of our credits are OCT, all our teachers are OCT teachers, which means that we are just like the same registered teachers as you would in a classroom, like at a public school. Right. So the credits are the same. The reason why it's 4 weeks is because a course takes a minimum of 1 month to complete. You can't, even if you progress through the material, you can't graduate from a class without being in the course for a minimum of 1 month. So that 4-week course that she's referring to is essentially just like an OVS course. You could complete it in 4 weeks if you wanted to, or you could take longer to complete it.
Okay, excellent. I'm sharing as we're talking along and saying hello to everyone from today's mom watching and saying hello. I'm trying, if anyone's a member of the Mom Rant, I'm trying to share. So if you can share to the Mom Rant, please do, because I'm trying to share, but I'm not able to for some reason. Facebook changed a little bit today. Did you notice that, Alicia? I'm like, thanks for upgrading. And Bobby Show said, oh, that's good. Okay. Carla, yay. Congrats here too. Carla, where did you go? Alicia's actually in Ottawa right now.
Yes.
So Carla's also saying this is fantastic to get their kids ahead. Guys, keep commenting because we are giving away 2 courses for your kids from grade 9 to grade 12. The contest closes tomorrow night, 11:59. And I'm telling you, the great thing about Ontario Virtual School is the rolling enrollment. So even if, listen, my daughter, she's going into grade 8. I have her in an enrichment class that our school board did offer, but we will be doing OVS next year because I just love that there's a grade 9 prep course. There's things for her to just get them to feel confident. I wish there was something like this for me. There was some summer school, just regular summer school for me. But
and even just to go off that prep course that you just mentioned, one of the modules in the prep course is, like you mentioned earlier, actually was about organization and mental health. And I thought that component of the course was very important because school has definitely changed in the past decade, maybe even in the past 5 years, it's changed. And so we put material in there that helps students figure out how to properly source the material, for instance, how not to plagiarize, how to reference material, how to make a Word document, a research paper, MLA versus Chicago style, stuff like that you wouldn't necessarily think of, rather than just content, right? It's not just content, it's also how to succeed in high school. What are some ways to be successful?
Love it. Okay, so I've got this up here. I'm sharing and talking and looking and producing at the same time. So when I'm not looking at you, I'm over here looking at this screen.
That's fine.
And I'm all stressed because it's a teacher going, Taylor. Okay. So what has COVID been like as a teacher? Have you seen an uptick in registrations? Was there a lot of challenges? And you guys were ready to go because you already had the courses.
Yeah.
And that's what I found with teachers, and not just like, with the school boards. I have 3 kids, and I found I love our teachers that we have, and I love the school board that we're at. But teachers all had different levels of their comfort for e-learning, and same as the kids. And just like Linda was saying, commenting earlier, some kids were not used to it, and I think this is the norm. But you guys are the experts. You're used to this.
Yeah. So for sure, when COVID happened, there was definitely an influx in enrollment. I noticed my classes almost doubled. But and the only stresses that I had as a teacher was just feeling very empathetic towards the students, because I was already in my role, very comfortable working online. Same with parents, like everything, right? I mean, it was just throwing a wrench in everyone's life all of a sudden. I felt very lucky and fortunate to already be working from home and have my system set up for that. But there was a lot of emails going back and forth to parents and students, giving them reassurance that it's okay if they have an extension because they are sick, or not even sick because of COVID, sick because of stress, and sick because of just everything that's going on.
Everything.
The heat wave. And so kids were getting sick because they were outside trying to get some fresh air, but also getting sick that way. So, but ultimately it was a good experience because we were able to show that we could still support students even when they're having those really tough times at home.
Okay, excellent. And again, we're talking to Alicia Kuzner, guys. This is OntarioVirtualSchool.ca. They've sponsored this Facebook Live. We are giving away 2 free courses. Comment, so I'm going to be giving it there's 2 prizes here. And these courses are around $500, depending on what you want. There's also free courses online. And again, your child, if they're into e-learning, again, this can complement, or this could be an alternative. So how do you ensure you stay connected with kids on a virtual platform too? Because I'll tell you, when my grade 3 daughter, she was like this, Zoom. And I have to sit there. But with older kids, I find as long as you are challenging them, and I mean, even adults on a Zoom call, when I have 3 Zoom calls in a row, I'm like, so how do you stay connected with the students?
So because none of our classes are actually live, it gives the more flexibility for the teenagers, as I call them, the teenage brains, to work on their courses whenever they feel better, which is usually in the late afternoons and evenings. Teenagers like to sleep in usually. So that's been kind of nice because I was a classroom teacher. I taught for 5 years in a classroom full time. And that was one thing that always was an issue for me, is 9 a.m. classes sucked because all my students had their heads on the table, and I was trying to, be a performer and an entertainer and trying to wake them up. But with at least online courses, I can see how they progress. I can see every lesson that they've watched all the way through. Did they skip anything? I can see how fast it took them to do the quizzes. Did they just go 1, 2, C on the multiple choice, or did they actually read the question? I can also see how long it's taken them to go from one lesson to the next. So if there's a week break, I get a notification saying this student has been inactive and not working. So then I reach out and I say, hey, what's up? Are you okay? Just checking in, no rush. I want to make sure everything's fine. And as well as the gradebook is really handy too, because with the gradebook and the Dropbox, when students submit their work, I have a draft Dropbox so they can do their early submissions, so I can provide feedback before I mark anything, which is really handy when I'm trying to teach students how to format their work. Maybe the content is really good, but their in-text citations are all over the place, or maybe their formatting is off. So that's the best time to physically show them, and I can put the comments in the margins and move the text boxes around. Everything is online, so that's really handy for me. And then the students seem to respond a lot quicker. They seem to get it right away, and the next submission is usually perfect.
That's amazing. And Elaine saying, my kids did pretty good with e-learning, but needed reminders to do it. And you were just saying how you send stuff, how there's checkbox. Carla said, I love that there's some accountability on that side, that you can see how they're doing. Because as a parent, you want to give them, especially when they're in high school, listen, we're all independent. They're going to be on their own. They're adults. They're growing adults. Yeah. You want to make sure that but you still have to guide them as parents. But
yeah.
I'll tell you, okay, my friends are going to kill me for telling you guys this story. So I had 2 friends that took their kids' math classes during COVID because their kids were freaking out, and both of my friends failed. I won't say what grade, but elementary math. They got 44% on the test and 35. I'm like,
oh no.
That's why we should let the kids do this. Okay, so Linda's saying, yes, timing is definitely key to effective learning. Again, guys, keep sharing this. Share the love. We are giving away 2 free courses for grade 9 to grade 12. And of course, they're I shouldn't say free courses to you, but there are also tons of free courses online. I'm going to show you this right now. They've got, and we can move to the side here so we can still use, well, let me pull Linda down here. So, and I'll pull this banner down. I'm producing live. So there's free courses for supporting mental health. There's also free courses for learning skills, free courses for digital literacy, getting in like high school 101, and a free course for preparing for grade 9 math. Oh my gosh. I wish I had that. I
I believe that it's my face on all those as well. So you'll see me talking on those courses. Yeah.
I'm missing some stuff. So guys, the comments are coming so fast. So let me just see. On average, this is from Stephanie. How many students do each grade 12 teacher have when you're in this? So they learn on their own, but like how many,
Yeah. So it's interesting. So kids are coming and going into my class or my course all the time. I have my personal course capped just because I'm also a developer. I make the courses as well. But some teachers,
you're smart.
Yeah. But if it is capped, that just means that another teacher is teaching the same course. So she or he will just continue with those students. But at any given time, students are all over the place. I have some students who just started my course yesterday, some that are graduating probably tomorrow because they're just writing their final exams. So it's rotary. So kids come and go. There obviously it will be an influx once we hit September. The students want to hit those university graduation points or the credit submissions. But if you're in grade 9, 10, 11, you can keep working on those credits all the way through.
Yes. Oh my God. Everyone's saying my math story of outing my friends. I won't say their names. I've seen them on the live here, but okay. Preparing for grade 9 math is so important. That was a learning gap for sure. High school 101 is what my grandson needs. Absolutely. Linda, for sure. You know what? And there are some school boards that do offer that, but if the schools don't offer it, this is a great option. We've got like 12 minutes left. And we might wrap up depending on like how many questions are coming in. Again, hello to the Today's Mom fans, the Mom Rant. Thank you guys for watching. Taylor K. We're also live on Twitch. We're also live on Twitter, and we're also what am I missing? We're
Instagram,
live. On Facebook, not on Instagram, but we brought some people over from Instagram. So there's a comment here. Okay, do the courses run year round? Let's talk about the rolling enrollment, Alicia. Yeah.
So they do run all year round, and you can register. And once you register, you don't have to start the course right away. You can. I do get notifications sometimes a student has enrolled but not started, and that's fine because sometimes students don't want to do, let's say they enroll in 4 classes. They don't want to do all 4 classes at the same time. Maybe they just want to get one course out of the way, next course out of the way. So I'll get a notification that a student is enrolled, but they won't do anything for the first couple weeks, and that's fine. And then all of a sudden they start doing my course, and that's fine too. Sometimes they'll stop because they have to go on vacation or travel or to go to the cottage, so.
Oh my God, whose cottage? Can I go too?
I know, right?
I want to ask you guys, and these comments, again, all the comments you are in to win. We've got free courses from the OntarioVirtualSchool.ca, grade 9 to grade 12. This is going to be great to complement your child's school, or again, it's an alternative for what they're learning in school. What was your favorite course in high school?
I loved
you guys asked
physical geography.
History. Ew.
I'm a big history buff. You can see my living room. It's just all like history, and it's like I love like Russian, Middle Eastern history, like more obscure histories. And I also did my specialization in Aboriginal education. So I was lucky enough to go into ATEP, which was the Aboriginal Teacher Education Program at Queen's.
Amazing.
So that was great because then I got to do a lot of traditional knowledge and on the land knowledge. So I have many resources on that as well.
That's all. Okay. Linda's saying I loved history. Elaine, I loved art. Meg, who is online, Meg is saying, do you have any courses for parents? Well,
yeah, I honestly I try to encourage parents to check out their kids' courses. Actually, I know you told that horror story of the math, but generally my way is that the way that I teach is that I want it to be for anyone to pick up, right? If there's questions in the way that I teach, maybe I just worded something in a way that is hard to understand and I didn't notice it because I'm used to the way that I speak. So I like feedback from students and parents being like, can you re-explain this or this and that? But parents sometimes do watch my videos, and then that way they can understand what their student or what their child rather is going through, and they can help out if they can. If their teenager will let them. Sometimes teenagers are like, stay out of my room, don't bother me, so.
I've learned now that you should text before you go in. Because as soon as my daughter turned 13, one of my friends said, you can't, all of a sudden the door was shut.
Yeah. Even as a teacher, because I was only high school teacher for 5 years, I had one student that was so agitated when it came to talking that I used to communicate with her over sticky notes. So I would walk by her desk and put a sticky note if I had a question. And that's how we communicated for the first 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
She can't stand the sound of adults' voices. And I'm like, okay, we're talking through stickies, I guess.
Yes. All right. So Stephanie says, I'm currently attending OVS right now, and my day school recommends us to finish all courses by April to graduate next year. Is that mandatory?
So I haven't heard that. Generally, the last submission rules for university, our administration have to get the marks into ONSYS or even the online portal for universities by June. So June is our deadline. They might be worried about maybe the public school are trying to get things in early, so because there's so many students in public school they're trying to process, they could be just trying to get the work in earlier. I know that at OVS this year, it was June to get the marks in, but who knows with COVID.
Well, and I guess, you know what, and we will get back to you on that as well. So thanks, Stephanie. We'll get an answer for you on that because, and the great thing about OVS, because it's regulated, by the Ministry of Education, you're communicating with your school, you're communicating with the ministry, OSSD, and the teachers and administrators at OVS. If there's something you're like, I need to graduate or I need my grades to get into this school, just watch the deadlines for any of the applications that you need for your grades.
Yeah. Especially this year, we had some guidance counselors set different due dates depending on what public school they were in, because a lot of our students, because of COVID, were only taking one course, maybe two, and the rest was with their home school or with their their public school that they went to. So we always had the communication with the guidance counselor emails in their file, and we submit marks on request to them.
And the one thing, is there music playing in the background, or is that here? Is there TikToks going on? I think it's
I don't know where that
in my house. Oh my gosh. So what's the biggest benefit of online learning, and what are some of the challenges? I mean, I know some of the challenges. My kids are younger, but I mean, you're with high school kids. What are the benefits? And then the other thing, my concern is social, just being social, really. And that's.
So for sure, I would say the benefits would be that you can work at your own pace. Yep. I find that a lot of teenagers today are anxious about a lot of things, plus COVID. So it really takes the anxiety away. When I was a public school teacher, that was one hard thing for me, is trying to get students to be in the classroom. Sometimes that is just too much anxiety for people, or there's just so much drama, so much distraction, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, fights, all this stuff. Yes. So I love that online is more distraction free in that sense. Students tend to do well, more the average student in my course is progressing at a pretty even rate. And if they have questions, I can talk to them directly about that question right away. I would say the downfall to online learning is that depending on what your home situation is like, do you have a space that you can work in where there's not a lot of distractions? Do you have a ton of little siblings running around, unplugging the internet or this and that? What's your home life like? So that can be a little bit more challenging, is can you set up a space that you can work in efficiently. And there's a lot of tips and tricks to set up a workspace. Even when I was working from home, I had to set up my little corner in the living room, and I'm like, this is my work spot, so I think that's just more of an adaptation thing that we're all going to have to get used to with more things becoming online.
Jody just mentioned she needs to learn about this today. Jody, I will send you the link too, and we've got it on OntarioVirtualSchool.ca. It's a great alternative also to complement. And you know what? Jody's son is an actor, so this would be great because a lot of people that are even homeschooling, although acting's not happening right now, but when he gets back to acting, because I know he's going to win an Oscar. When I'm at the Oscars, I'm going to be interviewing him. So anyway, what is the mental health about? There are mental health courses, Gwendolen, online. Is the mental health course? Can people, adults could take it too? It's
mainly about like reducing stress, recognizing your like warning signs that you're not doing well mentally. Like with your stress, sometimes your hygiene starts to lack. Sometimes you notice that you're not brushing your hair, and there's things like that, like triggers and warning signs that I talk about a lot. As well as how to avoid.
I brushed my hair today. Is that okay?
Yeah, it looks beautiful. But yeah, just in the sense of how to also confront talking about if you have a problem, or if there's something that's bothering you, or if you notice a friend that is struggling, how do you approach that? How do you talk about it? What resources are available to help kids, because maybe they don't want to talk to their parent, maybe they don't want to talk to a pediatrician, and so maybe they want to seek other forms of help, and where can that be found?
Stephanie, I know you're still online. OVS has answered your question online, and I will link that to you. I'm looking at this. Okay, so would OVS be able to supplement regular e-learning? It's both. You can supplement, or it can be an alternative, Linda, because they are Ontario Secondary School Diploma credits. The teachers are Ontario College of Teachers, and it's regulated by the Ministry of Education for Ontario. How many hours?
We have a physical location in North York. So if you were to take all of our classes, and let's say you wanted to use an actual space to work or write an exam, you can come into our school. And work there. We have computers in an office, and some of our developers are in there too. It's a really fun place to work. Whenever I'm in Toronto, I go in there. So,
all right, guys, we're going to wrap this up really soon. I know the questions keep coming in. We've got the OVS team online. So remember, keep commenting, because we are giving away 2 courses for your children, your grandchildren, from OntarioVirtualSchool.ca. Bobby Joe saying, awesome. Carla was talking about how she set up a desk in her eldest room. I had to do the same thing because I have 2 younger ones that are, they were doing an hour of school a day. So have that space. And it's hard. I get it, because some of our places aren't big. And with parents now working from home and kids working from home, we sat down and we said, what's going to work for everybody? I moved my husband to the basement.
Yeah.
He calls it his apartment. That's where he is. And he has a sign when he's on calls. I'm in my studio, but my eldest has her own room. So, thank you so much. Thank you for this great live. Oh gosh. And Raluca, thank you so much for joining. Guys, thank you. And you know what? Thank you so much to Alicia for coming on from OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
I'll put this link back on.
I feel like we could talk for another hour about this.
And here's the website again, guys. Can I share this? Let me see. Can I share this screen? Oh, where is it going to share? Where we go? Oh, is it sharing now? Oh, no, it didn't share. That's okay. OntarioVirtualSchool.ca. Check it out. We've got those 2 free courses. Keep commenting. Every comment counts. More information. Alicia and the team and the OVS team, you can email them. Well, not Alicia personally.
And even if you check out the website, let's say you're like, I'm not sure if this is right for my kid, we do have sample lessons for each course. So you can open a course, like the grade 9 math, and see how it's structured. You can watch the first lesson for free just to see what it's like and how, if it's working for you or not. You can get an idea of it at least before you enroll.
Awesome. All right, guys, have a great night. And don't forget, tomorrow night, I'm going to be live with Steven Sabados, our Thursday night Blurs Day. That's at 9:00. And our challenge is pineapples. I always lose, but I'm going to win. I might even bring Alicia in as a judge. We usually have guest judges.
I'd be down. I'm interested in that. That'll be fun.
I'm your ringer. All right, guys, have a great night.
Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody.